What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello.
And Mr. Jisquan.
Yo, what's happening?
And today we are doing another collection critique, but it's a special Dummies episode where they will be critiquing my collection. The uncut version of this will be on Patreon at the $5 level. If you'd like to join, dig in. Otherwise, we're just going to get started. I have a feeling this is going to be a long one, so to speak. I'm going to let Robert and Jisk take the lead on this, and I'm just going to come in to kind of defend my honor or perhaps add a little bit of thoughtful feedback on something.
And so we're looking at some Star Wars and some Billies, some dioramas.
Black Series.
Yeah.
Black Series mainly.
All right. So, all right, look, I'm going to point it out. Like, the lighting looks good. All the dioramas look great. Some of the figures are standing a little bit crazy. This does need lights, I think. I think you need a little bit of lights in there.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Or mini dios, even if it's simple.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I agree. You're not wrong. Joe, you said you were going to figure that out. That was 2 years ago.
But there is something about being in the space with the lighting. Like, it really does. I don't think photos are going to do it justice.
I think the dios look really great with the Star Wars stuff. Really excellent job. I really, specifically with the Star Wars stuff.
Specifically the Wampa Cave.
Yes, I love how the Wampa especially is a gorgeous figure. What animal's guts again? Tauntaun.
Yeah,
I love how he's like, excuse me, pardon me. I think these Star Wars dials are really, really amazing. They really are. That's why it highlights the dark stuff. And, I like these lighted, narrow shelves, but because you have one light on top, it kind of darkens the rest.
So I think they need to go.
Yeah.
I think they need to go completely.
They're nice lamps, but I don't think they work.
Yeah, I think they need to go only just because they just stand out. They don't flow right. I do think they need to go. I don't know what you would put in there, but I would get rid of those things completely.
His face he's going to cut this out.
They're more distracting. I think they take away from versus adding to.
So that's fine. I think that you're all haters.
Yeah.
Or you take this out, right?
Yeah.
And you have empty space.
So you'd have to figure that out.
Well, that's the problem. Is there's not much. So this fits in there. But then you have a lighting issue again. So the nice thing about this is it's simple, and I have accessories and stuff in these little drawers.
Right.
I think you still have a
That's
lighting
trash.
issue.
Nobody gives a accessories.
I think you still have a lighting issue.
But what's
I think these little cubes I think would look better than these light things.
I don't know if maybe I'll take your criticism into consideration.
For real, like on these.
So let me tell you what my biggest criticism is of these shows, aside from the Wampa Cave, which I know needs work. The top of the Billy's statues is too crowded.
I think it's your busts.
It's the busts.
It is the busts. He's right.
It's the busts.
A little bust crazy.
I went bust crazy.
Busts. I mean, they're beautiful pieces, but busts are just
crazy.
stupid.
What if you put the busts on the shelves?
This I have already committed to something, but I do know that needs something. That's something that needs fixing.
You should just super glue them upside down to your ceiling.
Dude, and I'll tell you.
So it looks like they're poking through like, hello.
I think the figures on the card too need to come down.
Really, all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think I think it takes away from the impressiveness of it. Not that it's a bad look. It's just not as elevated as everything else is.
Now your barge, right? That's a centerpiece. That's gorgeous. But the way you have it displayed doesn't do it justice because it has so much you're not showing.
It does open up though.
It does open up. Some of the panels open up. In my opinion, it makes it look cheaper.
Okay. Have you ever tried putting a light underneath it so it just glows kind of from underneath?
So once again, it was a light issue in terms of like
how you run it
and
right
stuff. Like it became a logistical issue again.
Oh, I imagine to move any of these, it's probably a nightmare with just the wiring and stuff. Is it time to whittle some stuff down?
So that's what I think about with the bus is that I may have gone bus crazy, and I gotta think about that.
All right, so Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little crowded up top. Crowded up
there.
Top. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got,
it's a space issue.
Multi-limbed big bosses, and you're crowding them up top.
Do they make a topper for this? Could you put it?
Top shelf.
Can you put a topper on these?
Actually,
and then close that in?
So the problem is I could only put it on this one.
Oh, and then all right. So everything's posed well. Yeah, it's dope.
All right.
There's not I don't really have a negative.
Yeah, I loved it. Love to hear it.
I don't have any negative. Didn't they, when you were actually playing in the game, wasn't it a tier system where like every time you advance it went up?
Yeah.
You need a representation of that tier system somewhere.
That's kind of what I'm trying. It's kind of the part of the thought.
You need the bar graph or whatever.
I can put it here on the side. On the side, move the Skeletor thing.
No, the Skeletor thing's dope.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that. Takes it to another level.
Magic cases.
Magic cases. Now, this is Bobby's pride and joy. He only has his most beloved, valuable display pieces in here. Correct, Bobby? Right? You have beloved figures in
I
here.
have some beloved pieces in there.
But you would never put trash in here.
Correct.
Correct. Only stuff that you think is top quality.
Or super meaningful.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, except this is what?
Yeah, what is going in this empty spot?
So
This is the Invisible Woman?
So I have another piece coming in, and then stuff gets shifted around.
Like, this is tough to me because they're statues. They all look so great. But, like, the issue I always talk about with details is that they're on the floor. And so that's kind of the issue you run into here. And I know it's like you kind of have these spaces, but I don't even know how you would rearrange this. But I think that sound wave is too good to be on the bottom.
Yep. So we got Marvel, right? We got DC. We got, see, the Transformers, it's weird having them top and bottom. I wish there's a way around it. Game of Thrones is a beautiful statue.
Yep.
It just seems random where it is. You know?
But I
mean,
think
it's a
I like the
gorgeous
way that you
statue.
tiered it.
She's gonna move.
I like the way that you tiered it down.
And we got the hot,
I don't know if that
we
was
got the hot ladies there. And in the middle, who do we got here? We got Han, Leia, Chewie, and Luke. That looks great.
Did you put Luke in there?
No. That's gorgeous. So you said this is, you only put your most special figures, you only put your most prized possessions in your Maji cases, something you consider valuable and special to you. So I can see it. Yeah, that Luke especially is gorgeous.
I've never seen that Luke before in my life.
I know, it fits. It fits.
I knew something was going on.
Where'd you get that? Was it NJCC?
I think I got that tonight.
No, I don't know. That's really cool. Is that Hot Toys? It's a Hot Toys. Look at it. Zoom in on it.
Looks a little
Jamie.
crowded there, so I think you need to kind of reposition
Yeah, I
Luke.
don't like how you
And Luke's
have-
in the back. He should be up front. He should be all the way up front.
I think he should be with Leia.
We are still kind of figuring all of this
Yeah,
out.
and
That's
and
what's
we're-
tough.
And we're waiting for a piece to come in.
giant
We're waiting for
Wonder
a
Woman.
final piece to come in, and when the final piece comes in, that's when we're making our final.
Then you can move everything around.
Final piece.
Naked Obi-Wan
Wonder
Kenobi.
Woman versus Hydra.
I love this.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's awesome.
Like there's something about what you're doing. Like there's a lot of it where like just this and that. It's like the color pop and the lighting pop. I feel like I'm immersed. Obviously, it's not just because it's all around us. It's
Right.
There's something going on.
Yeah.
80 shelf. We got some turtles.
This is one of my favorite shelves in the whole space.
Yeah, it's cool.
It does look really good,
It's one of mine too.
and especially like for the figures being.
I love how you made the couch look dirty.
Laura did the couch.
Good job.
Thank you.
Bad guys are crowded. Bad guys are crowded.
Bad
again.
guys are a little
bad
crowded.
guys are
But
crowded.
it works though. I think it works for some reason. I think because it's like kind of like they're like the cartoon element, like where they're panel lined a little bit, or just the style of those figures. For me, it works. It doesn't look as I don't know why it doesn't look as bad to me, and maybe because the figures are bulkier, beefier.
Now the Joes, they seem randomly put on the steps.
Well, I only have so many, so like I'm beginning to fill them in as they come in. But like, actually, this is actually one of my favorites as well. I just think it's really like the platforming.
Yeah, that's cool.
It really gives space to each
Right.
character. It was by accident, but it was a happy one.
It's
Yes.
good, baby.
All right, we can let that one go then.
All right.
All right, and then the DC one.
Oh, DC,
All right.
DC.
So it's a little tough, but some of them look a little crowded.
A little crowded,
Yeah,
brother.
a little
Oh, yeah,
crowded.
yeah.
And I don't know if there's anything
Guilty
you
as
can even edit that
charged.
down.
Yeah. So the what was I going to do with this area with the when the Maji case was there, right? I wanted a DC representation because I love DC and I didn't have DC in this room. So I was like, I could do a 1/12 scale figure thing, but I'd have to get it. They'd have to be packed in there. So the challenge for this was how do you pack them in there, but also make it seem purposeful. I think the only one to me that feels overdone is that one.
Is that Sauron?
No, which one?
Sauron from Lord of the Rings?
This
Who's
guy,
that?
yeah.
Ares.
Ares? Oh, it's Ares. Okay. I was like, what? Who's this?
That's Raven's father.
I don't know. I don't know if I like
You know-
this. Like, I don't think like they gotta go. You gotta go.
It's not bad. It's just that
It's-
it's just that the dials look so good.
Yeah, and look.
That's
I mean, this
the thing
you
that it
gotta
makes
figure that out,
those
man.
not
You-
look as great.
You got Airvent, you got Sauron, you got Deer-headed Devil, you got Wonky Knees. You gotta fix this, Bubby.
Deer-headed devil.
This is trash. I think we can say this is trash. This is a good figure. I mean, there's interesting some of them individually, but come on.
Again, I think it's just because you have the dials that it
And look,
takes away from that.
his lightsaber's next to it, all crooked and cockeyed.
Also, like you
Fair.
can block the vent.
Bobby, that top shelf is trash. I mean, there's too many plastic lightsabers sticking around, man. And this one's crooked. This is really annoying.
Fix it.
No, I'm not touching. It'll fall.
Oh, I see, though.
Yeah, he's crooked. Oh, look at that. I'll fix it. Here.
Done.
All right.
All right, let's move this one.
Marvel time.
Oh, you got them tall billies over here.
Yeah.
I think it looks good. Even so, here for whatever reason, the top ones without a dio work here more so than like over there at the DC, and I couldn't tell you why right now. Maybe it's
Space. I mean, it's
I think
just
it's
this.
the figures too.
It's also displays. Got boom, 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 symmetry. You know, I mean, I love that with the buildings. I just feel like you maybe could have gone shorter on
Should
them.
have gone shorter. So when I did the
It's the
Marvel
vent.
Legends, that was the first one I did, and I underestimated the height.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, I
That's
should have
the
gone
thing.
shorter.
It's beautiful.
But you're 100% right. I should have gone shorter.
I mean, there's amazing stuff. Look at this. Come on.
All right, let me address these detail lights. It's the lights that got to be changed on this one.
To what?
I don't know, but they just don't. This
Why
is
do
the
these
most,
look different than those?
They're the same.
It's because of the lights. It's because of the lights around it.
Ooh.
It's why. It's because everything else is so bright that it makes those look so dim, and then you can't see any of the Hot Toys figures. And especially if you're standing back there, there's a more glare too on it than that. Just those don't have. That's why I looked at it.
What would you do?
And so you just
What do you do?
You just have to put different lights in there.
Now, I don't know if I understand why you did it because of space. I mean, you got Thanos and Hulk with the Sentinel.
Yeah.
That clashes. They're each individually awesome, but together, I think you're making a mistake. They don't
I
look
think
good
it's the
together.
Sentinel that has to go, not the
I think you're right.
either the Sentinel up there with something else, or the Sentinel has to go and just the Hulk and the Thanos. I think what you need to do too, especially since we talk a lot about posing, is just show people what it's like when like stuff is posed. You could have a crowded shelf.
Now, interestingly, if we want to turn to the Transformers, I appreciate the effort you made with your Transformers dios, but they appear almost like a different person made
Don't
them.
film the dials, Jim.
It's almost as if a different person made them as
made
compared
the
to
other
the
ones?
Marvel ones.
Why do you think that?
There's a depth
Well, that's
to the
not
comic
that's not
ones.
the build fault. That's just the figures that are in there. The Transformers are so much
They're
thicker,
bigger.
Yeah, like think about
You can't have as much like decoration in the diorama.
Interesting.
And you need more footing. Platforms got to be wider for
Correct.
the footing. Yeah, it's just because of
Funny
the size
how
of the
just the
figures.
bots affect.
Yeah,
they
it's
just don't
hard.
display as well.
Yeah.
What really works for me, and like, that's what I look at, is the breakup. It's not a wall of shelving that's all the same height. So even your billies aren't the same height, or you have it broken up with the details or with the glass case, and that's what I think just creates movement throughout. And that's something that even we talk about all the time, that people that have these wall of details, it just looks crazy. It starts to look less interesting, and that's what's cool. But and it's I don't.
I think the Transformers
I think
shouldn't
that's
be in
cool.
Billy's. I think it should be in Detox. But I love that you have your first custom project on display, the Metroplex.
It doesn't look bad.
It looks good, actually.
Yeah, and here with the way that it's lit,
He's
it doesn't
aged
look
well.
bad.
He's aged well, Bubba. The Metroplex.
So let me ask you, as furniture-wise, what would you trade out now? Like, if you're like, okay, if they had whatever it is that you're looking for, what would you swap out?
So honestly, I'm like the only thing is like the seams in the door here drive me nuts.
It seems so.
So I would probably do a custom Magic case there.
Okay, they're not noticeable.
I would probably, to be honest, if I could go back in time and do it all over, I would never get into the quarter scale statue stuff. I would have just left all that alone, and I would have done action figures all in that area.
You'd have still picked up that Luke, though.
Okay, let me ask. Yeah, you would. You know what? You have Jetfire. Why do we have Jetfire with Omega Supreme and Scorpion? Logistics. So then, why do you have a shelf dedicated to freaking Acid Storm?
It's not. That's for either Target Masters or Seacon.
Why don't you have Jetfire over there?
It wouldn't fit on there anyway. Would it even fit on that shelf anyway?
No, it doesn't fit on that
Yeah.
shelf. And those are for Decepticon. These are Autobots, and those are Decepticons.
Now, I don't. Why can't you get Skyfire on any one of these shelves? Why not?
I don't think it wouldn't
He'll
work.
fit
We
somewhere.
would be like, where are you thinking to put it? Let's say
You can't put him with a big bot. You can't do that. It messes up your big bot.
It's the only option I got.
Wow, you don't think he'd be better standing next to Red Alert?
He doesn't fit.
he wouldn't fit on that
Yeah.
shelf with the.
He doesn't fit.
He doesn't fit on the Ultra Magnus.
He doesn't.
None of those.
Well, he might fit on the Ultra, but the movie shelf. There's a couple things in there, like even the 6-shot is another one that doesn't fit. Like, but it's like fit
Right.
in or not.
I do think the Unicron needs a better light.
Yeah, well,
That's a cool light. I like the
It
light
does
from
like a ceiling
below.
light, yeah. I do
Maybe
too,
if you
but I
can
just
get
think
it
this
hitting
needs
his
to be
face
stronger.
a little.
Right, but then
That's
but all the combiners are kind of in that same thing. It's like,
I don't know. With Unicron, if you could just somehow get the light just getting him on the cheekbones and under his nose a little, then you're good.
I like them cheekbones.
I like that wrench in his hand.
Yeah, I do think, now looking at this glass case, I do think the figures in the top shelf, like,
Misfit.
yeah, that's your aisle of misfits.
It's just randoms. It's like it's stuff that I love. It's like and some of it is actually special, right? Like so, Tarn is a special piece, right? And then the two painted pieces are special pieces, and then the 3D printed stuff are special. Now, in my opinion, the Hexatron is the six shot is the one that doesn't fit.
Maybe it just needs a more dynamic pose because that Tarn is so.
There's a space issue.
I gotta tell you, you know what's interesting? We are sitting on the couch here, right around the coffee table, and my eyes are drawn to the centerpiece almost.
Yeah.
Right.
And your centerpiece, ironically, is like a Misfit display.
Yeah.
And that's really
That's interesting.
That's got to change. And
But
Unicron can't dictate that, right?
Unicron didn't.
So you got to get this
Omega
out of
did.
here. Okay, these figures on top, they can go in your office, really, except for a six shot, and I mean the Flame Toys can go in your office because it's a one-off.
Yeah.
So it's like you really only need something for six shot. None of these other figures need to be here in the centerpiece. You really got to figure this space out because this is your centerpiece when you're sitting here.
Yeah.
So instead of me seeing this, I'm seeing what seems like seams. I think you need to tie a hammer to your dog's tail and get her really excited and have her run around and hopefully hit this thing. Smurfs.
Bobby's feelings.
A big plastic Luke. Air vents, car exhaust.
Yeah.
I see car exhaust.
The Green Lantern roll call.
Just